Step two in the process of argument reconstruction is just simplifying the language. So you want the language to be as simple as possible because you're trying to present the argument in the clearest possible way. So there are three important ways to simplify. You should try all these strategies. First, cut down on the number of negations that you use. For example, nobody should be denied basic nutrition, shelter, and healthcare. So nobody is a negation, and denied is a negation, because when you deny someone something, you're saying you cannot have it. So you can take those two negatives and make a positive and rewrite the sentence like this. Instead of saying nobody should be denied, you say everybody deserves. Instead of nobody should be denied basic nutrition, everybody deserves basic nutrition. That makes your argument easier to read. When you have a double negation in a sentence, it makes things more complicated. Okay, economize your prose. That just means omit needless words. Any adjectives or adverbs that aren't doing any work for you, get rid of them. Make it as simple as possible. Even try to use the smallest words possible. If you can do one syllable philosophy, go for it. One useful strategy for economizing your prose is to use blanket terms. So here's an example Khalifa gives. He says, use basic necessities to cover basic nutrition, healthcare, and shelter. Basic necessities is simpler than referring to all those things, but they cover the same thing. And then also try to use the same term for synonymous expressions. So if you have expressions that have the same meaning in your argument, just use one expression. Choose one of them and stick with it. So for example, if in your argument you have basic nutrition, healthcare, and shelter, and you also have basic necessities and safety net, just pick one of them and stick with it, because they're all more or less synonymous. Okay? So just use basic necessities, and that will simplify your language. This will yield the same argument, but a simplified version of it. It'll look like this. Everybody deserves life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Therefore, everybody deserves basic necessities. The private sector won't provide these basic necessities. Therefore, the government should provide these basic necessities. So there's sort of, fewer moving parts, and it's easier to follow what's happening in terms of the logic of the argument.